Hello guys, you are welcome to my YouTube channel HistoryNet JRF classes. So today in this video lecture I am going to talk about types of research which is classified on the basis of process, inquiry and idea or concept. So those who are watching my video for the very first time, please go and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. So before starting this video, I would like to request everyone that please go and watch the previous video on deductive research and inductive research. And why I am saying is that because if you understand that research very well, then you can understand today's lecture very smoothly, because we are going to use deductive and inductive research to understand today's concept. So let's go. So today in this video I am going to talk about all these types of research, quantitative, qualitative, everything. And in my previous video I have completed up to this type of research. Okay, so you can watch this, because research is very important for the NET exam. Questions are asked every year, so you can't skip any of the types of research. So the first one is quantitative research. Quantitative research is deductive research, that is it moves from general to specific. It is linear research. Why I am saying it is linear research? Because it starts with a hypothesis and ends with a theory or a specific conclusion, and it moves in a linear fashion. That's why I am saying it is linear research. It involves collecting and converting data into numerical forms, obviously, because it is quantitative research. So it will talk about quant, values, numerical values, data, stats. That's why in quantitative research we have numerical forms which are being converted from data so that statistical calculation can be made. Please remember this. In this research, one starts with starting hypothesis, and that can be tested, and ends with either accepting or rejecting whatever hypothesis you have formulated. Based on your collected data and analysis of data, you are going to either accept that hypothesis or going to reject that hypothesis. So it's basically testing of hypothesis that comes under quantitative research. So please go and watch the video on deductive research so that you can make more sense more sense about quantitative research. So this is the linear fashion, that it is moving in linear direction. We start from a hypothesis, then we collect data, analyze the data, and then either accept or reject it. So at the end we reach to a conclusion which is very specific or which is used to generate a theory. Okay. So next we have qualitative research. Under qualitative research we talk about inductive research. Okay, it talks about quality. It moves from specific to general. You have specific data, different specific data, and after that you try to look for a common pattern among these three phenomena. Once you have reached that pattern, then you are going to generalize it. So it is a spiral. Why it is a spiral? Because these are different phenomena that you are observing, and you are looking for a common pattern. So all will move in one direction, and it will give the shape of being a spiral in nature, like moving like this for this common pattern, and this is the common pattern that is lying here. So in qualitative research, one starts with an observation. You are observing different phenomena and ends with a theoretical position. So it moves from specific to theory. At the end we generate a theory under qualitative research or inductive research. Under qualitative research we have different methods and approaches, and these are very important terminologies for the NET exam, because NTA will ask the questions that whether focus group is related to quantitative research or qualitative research. So under focus group we have a small group of 6 to 10 members, and what is the function of this group is that they discuss the topic and bring in their understanding by asking questions. So it's like a brainstorming. You have a one topic and you are trying to question it from different approaches, from different methods, so that you can have a holistic research, and it comes in a focus group. And it is flexible because it allows flexibility to each and every member to think in their own way and to bring up their own questions. Second is direct observation. What is direct observation? Is that you are observing directly from outside, being an external observer and collecting data. Next we have in-depth interviews. Under in-depth interviews we take an interview face to face, and it is very much unstructured. Why it is unstructured? Because there is nothing structured, nothing is fixed. It is very flexible, and it is moving with the flow of the interviewer and the interviewee. Next we have narrative research. Under narrative research, we approach the literature and we try to review it, we try to critically interpret it to have a something new understanding about that particular literature. Next we have phenomenology. So under phenomenology, what we do or what a researcher do is that they seek to understand how one or more individual experience a phenomenon. For example, this is the pandemic time, everyone is facing the corona, but every individual, every class, every layer of the society have their own experience, have their own understanding with this pandemic. So this comes under phenomenology. Next is ethnography. Ethnography is simply the study of a culture, that you can study the culture of any community, any society, any pocket. So it comes under ethnography. Next, case study research. Case study research is a very focused research, focused study of one or more multiple cases. Next we have grounded theory. It is used to generate and develop a theory from data that researcher collects. So whatever data is being collected, and on the basis of that data we try to generate a theory. That's why it's called grounded theory. Grounded means that we are laying a foundation stone for any theory, so it is called grounded theory. And as I have told you, qualitative research comes under inductive research, where we generate a theory. So here it applies very well. Next we have I have made this comparative chart to understand between this qualitative and quantitative research. It is a process oriented inquiry. Why it is process? Because in this qualitative research, researcher is interested to generate a theory, and it keeps on going, that this theory generation is a continuous process. Quantitative research is result oriented inquiry. Why it is result? Because you are going to test the hypothesis and going to get the result, whether this hypothesis is accepted or being rejected. It was all about orientation. And next we have this, it carries no statistical test because it is qualitative in nature. But in quantitative we have stats, we have quants. It is related to generation of hypothesis, obviously generation of theory, and here we have to test. It carries less generalizing facts and it is invested with more generalizable findings. Results are very descriptive, results are very specific, very specific, whether yes or no. Report is narrative, that includes direct quotation of participants. And in this quantitative research, report shows the relationship between the variables. Whatever variables you are carrying, we are trying to find out the relationship between the variables. It includes random sampling. Random sampling means every element has an equal chance of being selected. But under quantitative we have non-random sampling, because it is very specific in nature. We want to test the hypothesis, so accordingly we are trying to collect the data. So that's why it comes under non-random sampling. We have to very specific to choose which data is going to work for your hypothesis, which is not going to work for your hypothesis, because here we are talking about variables. So we have to look for the variables which are related to your working hypothesis. Next we have structured approach and unstructured approach. So as I have told you, under structured approach we are going to have quantitative research. So I have dealt about quantitative research, so please understand that concept very well and you can link it here. Structured approach doesn't allow flexibility. Why it doesn't allow flexibility? Because it is structured, it is fixed, it has to follow certain format. Under structured approach, it is appropriate to determine the extent of a problem. Extent matlab we are going to quantify it. Why quantify? Because of this it is quantitative in nature. That's why we are going to talk on the questions of how many, up to what extent, up to what degree. These kind of questions are being asked under this approach, structured approach. Next we have unstructured approach, and it is classified as qualitative research, as I have discussed qualitative research just now. So please understand that well, so that you can build concept on this. It is very flexible. Why? Because it is unstructured, it doesn't follow any fixed format. It is appropriate to explore the nature of a problem, to understand the nature, because it is being classified under qualitative research. We are talking about the quality, we are talking about the nature, what values it carries. So this was about structured and unstructured approach. In the next we have conceptual research and empirical research. Under conceptual research we try to develop new concepts. It is in this research we reinterpret the existing concept. Whatever concept you had, you try to reinterpret and bring up new concept. So it comes under conceptual research, and it is being generally used by philosophers or thinkers. these people use this type of research to generate a new concept. Under empirical research, it is very much data based research. Data is very important and it relies on experience and observation. Okay, a working hypothesis is formulated. So when a hypothesis is formulated, it comes under deductive, it comes under quantitative research. So the hypothesis is tested, fair enough, for this deductive research based on collected data. So this was empirical research, which is data based. It relies on experience and observation. Remember this: E for empirical, E for experience. Questions can be asked, so you have to remember this. A working hypothesis, because it comes under deductive research, it is classified under quantitative research. So in this slide I have just sorted out, like under qualitative research we have unstructured approach, inductive research, random sampling. Under quantitative research we have structured approach, deductive research, non-random sampling, empirical research. This is just a separate chart to understand. Okay, so these come together, this comes together, so they are of the same family, and they are of the same family. This is all about today. I hope you will build your concept, you will have clear understanding over the types of research. So how you like the videos, please give feedback, any suggestion, any comment in the comment box below. Please like my video, share it and subscribe to my channel. And you can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can join us on Telegram also. The links are given in the description box below. And one more thing, in the upcoming video I am going to talk about positivist and post positivist approach, so don't miss that video.